What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 18 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Miao Ying Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we have pretty much destroyed the Corsairs of Spite here with the Ancestral Warriors summoned by Miao Ying's, whatever these items are called, icons of the Spirit Dragons, helping to take their essentially last settlement. Technically this was the last settlement, but I did this little tiny fight between the episodes. This was one of those that we should have been able to auto-resolve, but the game wasn't letting us. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, well, I'd say there's a decent likelihood that we will probably declare war on Grimgore soon. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to do so right now. I'm gotta think about that. We do still have plenty of Chaos territories to destroy, but we seem to have mostly destroyed their armies, so by and large, we should be able to clear this out rather quickly, especially as I doubt Zatan will be too much of a threat. He will probably recover at the Volary, but we should probably pass through it and destroy it as well. And while I was originally intending to get Grimgore to declare war on him, Grimgore really doesn't want to do it, and thus it's probably better to just wipe Grimgore out anyway, though admittedly that will probably leave a power vacuum in the Darklands and will probably empower the Disciples of Hashut, who Grimgore is also surprisingly not at war with, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's start from the top, shall we? Miao Ying? Okay, not Miao Ying. Let's see what we got here. Tanji Chen. Okay, so you guys, we really probably should have somebody move up here and take Ironstorm, and in fact, maybe what we can do is this. Use Administrator Cheng in March stance, like so, and Logistics. We have a couple of turns in which we can move back to where we need to. We'll suffer a little bit of attrition here, but this way we can probably destroy Ironstorm with Administrator Cheng, who will lose all of his movement, like so. Let's do that as oh, we can't trade them? Okay, whatever. Who will lose all of his movement, but it'll allow us to move back to Dragon Gate. Ji Song, in the meantime, can besiege Bloodwind Keep, which is why we got her up here. And close defeat and casualties high. Well, let's see if they're willing to sally out and attack us. In fact, let's build some siege equipment. Unfortunately, this wouldn't work as a cinematic battle because it is, we've got a... not the Dreadquake battery. Oh, but the Dreadquake battery is going to be concerning. We've got the Fane Guardhouse here, which I believe... actually, wait. The Fane Guardhouse doesn't say anything about increasing tower HP. I wonder. Maybe it doesn't. Alright, well, we'll still give them a chance. Unfortunately, this is a direct fire army, and, well, bombarding the enemy settlement with artillery isn't admittedly the most interesting thing in the world, but we shall see. Anyway, give them a chance. I'd rather fight them in the field. Yeah. Anyway, Yuan Shanfu, you don't need to move because you're with Jiao Ming right now, but I think what we'll do is we'll send Tianlu back with the Grand Cannons and the Lead Belchers. I decided, I think, what I would like to do with this army. And what I would like to do with this army is combine cannons and peasants, as odd as that may sound. I did want an army where we had a decent army that is at least half made up of peasants. So we'll use the peasant long spears and combine them with cannons and lead belchers, just all sorts of cannon type stuff, and we'll see how that works. I think it'll be a pretty interesting force depending on what things they fight. Anyway, Yuan Shanfu, stay there for now. Zhu Zhao, you are you able to reach Oglicon's Folly? You are. We are, of course, going to have to suffer attrition in order to destroy it, and then we'll still do it. You gotta do what you gotta do and all that. And we'll auto-resolve it. This is probably gonna hurt again. Ugh, just do it. And no choice in the matter. I mean, some choice in the matter, but I don't like the other choice, so we'll do that, and we still didn't get the plague, which is great. You can go back into channeling, and you'll probably need to channel or encamp for a few turns while you move to 9 graves. And then you two can continue moving through all this. We need to wipe all of this out before rounding back here and then setting sail through Seagrave and then southward to the islands. Alright, the rest of you... Okay, I've already checked you haven't... Well, actually, you're waiting for the Corsairs of Spite to destroy themselves. Logistics, yes, you do need to travel through here, but I'd rather you not suffer attrition, so we're going to encamp. Or actually... Well, encamp for 1 turn and then switch to raiding once you're here, and then just travel while raiding all the way up here so that you can transfer to Zhu Zhao. I would also like to see, how close are we to the Longma here? Well, not as close as I'd like, so maybe we should travel while raiding. Ugh, the attrition, the terrible attrition. Frankly, we should have probably occupied USAC camp, but with the plague there, iffy. Both options iffy, so not much we can do. Anyway, this administrator doesn't need to move. Let's see who else does here. Ningwei. What I would like you to do is move into raiding stance into Grimgore's territory, since it's pretty much a given that we declare war on him. And we'll start moving towards Yeti Peak. This isn't really a full stack, and it's probably not going to be one, but I want to make sure that there isn't enemy position here where they can jump down to the Warpstone Desert and annoy us therein. Hoping to avoid that. Now, then, the question is, do we attack Grimgore right now? We do have the caravan nearby, but I really doubt that that Grimgore would actually attempt to attack us. I do wonder whether there's a stack here as well, but I don't think so. Balance of power suggests, what, 90% in our favor? I'd still say he probably has at least 3 stacks running around. Who knows where they are, considering he's not at war with us right now. I mean, we gotta do it eventually, and he won't declare war on any of our enemies. Maybe now is the time. Alright. Jamming, that's you, buddy. You're gonna declare war on him. We'll see if he tries to sally out. So we'll attack Black Fortress. Declare war. No allies have chosen to... Should I have asked an ally for this? Well, maybe I should have, but I think we're okay for now. Oh, you know what I should have maybe done? I should have maybe asked Greasus to see if he would be willing. Alright, we'll do this. We may want to actually attack this in a siege battle, because I think it might be fun, but anyway. If we did military alliance with Greasy, he'd probably be willing to do this. Oh, frankly, we could still do that. And then he'd start moving up here most likely. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent idea. Let's do that. Join war against Grimgore, and then maybe this way he will actually become a little bit friendlier with the elves here. They're not that friendly. I don't really understand why the ogres have an aversion to the elves in particular. I understand why the elves have an aversion to ogres, but not vice versa. Huh. Maybe it's always like that, as in factions have an equal amount of aversion to each other? I wonder. Anyway, let's see what we got out here. Yuanbo and Mingfan, you're still sticking around here. Your army will be transformed into a seagoing army. And I guess we'll probably want to send Yuanbo this way to go after these Black Arcs. Frankly, we probably can't catch them, but let's just move them away a little bit. It's not like we don't have a little bit of time while we wait for Yanbo's main stack to arrive, which we've got, what, 5 more turns to recruit? So we may as well take the time to do it. You are going to go right here and towards this island, the Sea Corps here. And grab that and then loop back around. I think there was another one somewhere around here. Yeah, there was one here. There's another one up there. Could go through the Underworld Sea as well if we really wanted to. But anyway, looks like that's it for the turns. Or for the move. Ow. Did I just accidentally click and give you Skyfire? I did. Not that it matters, because you're not going to be in command of this, because you have the Reinforce and Fortify, and we want the Sea Army to have other things, but yeah, actually, speaking of, let's take a quick look at the Lord Magistrates. Bastion Guardian, Rigorous Training. Yeah, that's the one I wanted. A Rigorous Training will be the Lord type that well, you know what? We should probably just replace you right now. Replace Lord with the new Rigorous Training guy. I can, yeah, there we go. Lord Magistrate. I like so. Alright. And once again, the reason for this is I don't want to give the sea armies artillery pieces, and thus it's better to give them the art of war and allow them to vanguard deploy instead. I also just thought of something else. We should probably give the Green Guardian to Yanbo pretty much immediately, but anyway. Leave him there for now, he'll be fine, I'm sure. And I believe that's it other than building. So let's do some building. What do we have here? Dragon Isles, starting with you. I was about to say reasonably cheap, but not really. What do we want to build here? Oh, yeah, okay, no, we're going to ignore that. We just need... That's not money-making buildings, basically, and we need more money-making buildings pretty much forever. You're okay. I guess we can build you and then upgrade Shilong. Although, it's already at tier 3, so faster... Yeah, but then this will increase growth. Alright, fine. We do want that tier 5, of course, but we'll get there fairly soon anyway. We've got growth rising in pretty much everywhere. I guess we could upgrade you to tier... Oh, wow, 1,000 gold. You know what? I'm going to say no, not right now. Frankly, there's a decent likelihood that we'll delete at least some of those, and thus they're not super critical right now. Yes, let's build the tea parlor here, however. We got... Start with... Do the tea parlors, the administration centers, and the goods emporium everywhere. Goods emporia. There's a plural of Emporium, Emporia. Anyway, let's go Tusk Compound, let's go for Riverport, let's go upgrade you as well, and then the market, and then the scroll building, whatever it was. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, wow, we're nowhere near 6, Fair enough, let's get to the conscription field up and running. What do we have here? Ooh, yes, definitely upgrade you to get that pottery up and running, and I would have loved to upgrade the dye maker, but alas, we no longer have the cash to do it, so just go for the spice market for now there, and the spice market for now there, and that's all the cash we got. Skip the compass direction. I don't think we're resetting the compass anymore ever, so yeah, I don't really see any need to do so. And I'm just gonna hope that I didn't leave something besieged other than this, because, well, I guess we're about to find out. Let's end the turn. Oh, actually, you know what? Yuan Shanfu, go right beside Jiaming in case these guys sally out. Frankly, I doubt that they do. And if we really wanted to, we could just straight up attack this. Let's give them a chance to sally out. We're not in a hurry, and generally speaking, once again, I prefer the field battles. Zatan, you will want peace. No, it is a decent amount of cash admittedly. Hey, they will sally out and fight us in the field. Beautiful, that's what I like to see. What I don't like to see is the fact that the attrition, despite the fact that it seems to have done, like, I don't know, 5 to 10% damage to these guys, took out 1/4 of the artillery pieces, which is kind of silly. It should actually lose an artillery piece when it drops out to 1/4. Like, this is a minimal amount of crew reduction, but the game is kind of annoying about that. See, it's done the same thing to the lanterns, which are barely damaged at all, but it sort of, like, insists that it must kill off a few units, which is actually a fairly considerable power loss to this army, because it's 2 lanterns gone, and then 3 grand cannons gone as well. But anyway, Ji-Sung, this is your debut battle, and it's going to be a toughie. We've got Dreadquake batteries, 2 uses of them in fact, and just generally speaking a decent enemy army, with of course the Chaos Dwarfs very much resistant to the fire damage from both the Grand Cannons and mostly the Grand Cannons, and I guess that's it. Well, that's, at least there's that. Anyway, go.
Dragons are watching us! In battle, we shall demonstrate our reverence!
Alrighty, here we go. I'm pretty darn excited about this one as we finally get our Eastern Fire army underway and get to their, well, trial by fire, as we're gonna get mobbed by a lot of Chaos Dwarfs here, and we do have to watch out for the bound abilities, both. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. I got distracted. Bound abilities of the Dreadquake Mortar Barrage and whatever other bound abilities we have. The enemy has. We have a pretty good position though. We have a huge cliffside and hill that will completely protect our leftmost flank and give us elevation for all of our units firing. Plus there is a bit of a wall here as well if we want to make decent use of it, although that remains to be seen. Anyway, we have 5 crane gunners and our cannons all firing away. There we go. The enemy has a heck of an approach towards us. Now they will start using their own abilities, the Wrath of Jar, getting that cannon fire through our units, and the first of the Dreadquake barrages. Fortunately this time I was watching it, and even the Grand Cannons were safe. The Grand Cannons did have to move forward, mind you, but they're still okay, at least for now. Enemy is firing back. Nice shot from the enemy Hell Cannon, and the camera went weird, and the enemy Death Shrieker rockets, though they're down to about half HP as the Grand Cannons are starting to dish out the damage. Enemy army is slowly but surely approaching us, but we are trying our best to knock out as many of the Chaos Dwarf Warriors in particular as we can, and obviously ignoring the enemy laborers, because we can fight in melee, at least to some degree, with our Null and Iron sides. We haven't gotten a shot off as yet, and these ones have taken a lot of artillery fire, but, well, I'm sure they'll be firing soon enough. Anyway, enemy is still very, very slowly moving towards us, and this works out just fine for our army. Lots of magical damage dealing range. And two of the lanterns supporting us as well, which I'm sure will rack up a decent amount of damage through the course of the battle. Ah, love the sound of the crane gunners and the cannons firing. Alrighty, and just to slow the enemy down further, we've got, the enemy lord has been sniped from the Grand Cannons. I believe the Hell Cannon is down and the Shrieker rockets are about to go as well. Anyway, as I was saying, we got the Storm of Shadows down, and combining Storm of Shadows with suppression from the Null Ironsides brings the Chaos Dwarf Warriors down to 4 speed, essentially stuck where they are. And if we should combine that with the Dragon Breakers slowing grenades, and then, units will basically be unable to move. Granted, only a few units at a time, since we only have the 2 Dragon Breakers, but we once again do have the Storm of Shadows to help as well. Anyway, the enemy is on the approach towards our kill. The laborers will rush forward, but we're going to try our best to knock out the critical targets. The enemy's about to use its second use of the Dreadquake Mortar Barrage, and it looks like they will actually cast a spell on us to try to keep us in place, but fortunately once again we dodge him, and that's alright, as it's the Iron Hail Gunners that will move forward to dodge the Dreadquakes and get a few nice shots into the enemy as well. Alright, our other armies may have grenades, but we've got lots of gunfire here, and then we'll back up with the Cloak of Jet, giving us the little bit of extra speed to run away. First of the enemies are starting to move in, and the Null Ironsides up here are not going to hold for too long here, as they're already severely damaged, at least on the left flank, but on the right flank they are only getting started. There we go, firing into the sides of those Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and you gotta love the sort of repeating fire that the Ironsides got. Do get hit with some Naphtha bombs from the enemy unit of the Infernal Ironsworn there, but the Ironsworn have nearly been destroyed by concentrated fire from the crane gunners. Oh yeah, look at all those guns. Isn't it a beautiful sight? And it makes the army feel completely different from Miao Ying's, despite her army being half guns. But she also doesn't have artillery and all that, so yeah, this is doing it for me. I know, a little bit brighter if we look at the battle from this angle. Lovely. Anyway, unfortunately, the first of the units of Null Ironsides have bit the dust, or, well, not been destroyed, but been forced to back up. Our crane gunners have nearly destroyed the Kadai Fireborn, which gave such a nasty bit of damage to those Ironsides as they're routing. And it looks like it's going to be the Iron Hail Gunners that are going to have to try their best to hold back as many of those Goblin Laborers as possible, and Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and there are admittedly a lot. Fortunately, that's the enemy left flank. The center and the right flank have collapsed on the enemy side, and the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. Our Lord has unfortunately also routed, as she was in the middle of all of this, but that's fine, as the enemy's been forced to blob up in such a way where we can get good use out of our grenades and out of our Iron Hail Gunners firing into the flanks of the enemy blob. There is, I believe, a unit of blunderbusses in here as well, among the Chaos Dwarf Warriors and the giant pile of laborers, and we're going to focus them down first with our range, and then all the other units after. Still, a few units will, of course, rally after routing, like these units of Chaos Dwarf Warriors, which will charge the Iron Hail Gunners and start fighting. But that's alright, because we got other Iron Hail Gunners and the Null Ironsides to make sure that these units can't fight for too long. Alrighty, beautiful, and the enemy will charge, but it looks like they're probably going to fail at doing anything against the Ironsides. And by the looks of it, the enemy army has recognized it, as the weight of gunfire has finally begun to tell, and the enemy realizes that it has no hope. And by and large, since we've been focusing down the Chaos Dwarf Warriors and ignoring the Laborers, it looks like the Laborers will all book it after the contemptuous Chaos Dwarfs decided to break and shatter. Absolutely beautiful. And that's a lot of running units and still a lot of gunfire ready from our various guns to fire into the backs of those units who will be moving away quite slowly. 9 speed, 6 speed, 5 speed, 15 speed, not a lot. And we have various ways to slow them down as well. And of course, one of the other nice things about the lanterns, once again, I've been so happy with the lanterns in this campaign. I never thought I'd say this, but at least in SFO, they might be one of my favorite Cathay units, which is quite interesting. And I get plenty of kills, especially with veterancy, but just generally speaking. Anyway, the other thing good about them is that against enemy infantry, they chase pretty well. The Sky Lanterns move at 40 speed, and they can keep pace with enemies and fire down upon them while the enemy run, and of course, fire at them in all directions. Anyway, maybe a couple more shots of volleys into the running enemies, just because I'm amused by the sight. Let's see, those Iron Hail Gunners fire right into the backs of those Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Alrighty, there we are. Just wanted to hear him fire once again. Anyway, we got a lot of chasing to do, but we can do the rest of that off screen. And very nice fight. We certainly took a lot of damage, especially on these iron sides, but, well, they held this flank quite nicely. See, some Iron Hail Gunners are pretty badly damaged. Some of our Dragon Breakers damaged. Everybody got a little bit damaged, but generally speaking, this army was intended to fight one-on-one battles, so it does make sense. Anyway. Alrighty, there we go. Heck of a trial by fire for Ji-Song, you gotta admit. Army did really well, but of course took quite a bit of damage. These poor units of Null Ironsides on loan from the Golden Order are probably like, we want to go home, as those guys took the brunt of the enemy assault, or the enemy charge. 24k damage on the other Null Ironsides, however, and 202 kills, beating all of the Crane Gunners, surprisingly, in terms of kills, though not necessarily in terms of damage, especially damage dealt as gold value, as the Crane Gunners were firing at more important units, generally speaking. The Dragon Breakers managed to get 56k damage. I don't know how they managed that. I guess they were firing into a big old blob, and, well, I guess the Laborers are so fragile that even the light damage Dragon Breakers do decent damage. Solid kills, 243 and 215 on the Sky Lanterns, in fact, beating all but 2 units for the better performing Sky Lantern. Good job. Very nice. And the Cannons, 20k, 19k, and 16k, pretty solid as well, considering the enemy has a lot of fire resistance on them. Very nice. A really nice fight. I very much enjoyed that. We're gonna have to heal as we have no choice, so we'll go for Venerate. And hopefully we didn't get the, what don't you like now? You don't? Huh? That's sudden. Really? We were going to let you live, Mazda. We were going to let you live. And look what you've now done to yourself. Alright, well, there goes that idea. I guess, well, I suppose the Exiles of Nehek can hold the territory belonging to the Cult of Pleasure. Doesn't have to be Mazda Mundi, since he's going to betray us so suddenly, and suddenly doesn't like us attacking the College of Pyrotechnics, which I don't see why he'd care. And we didn't have that before, so I guess it's a new alliance, but they're dead. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. All I know is, oh wow, these guys are going to sally out. Go figure. That's pretty nice. Grimgore Zarbor's Gitter One Finger with... Huh. That's pretty interesting. Armored Squig Hoppers, Lava Spider Archers, Super Squigs, we got Savage Giants, and another regiment of renown. Okay. The big thing that concerns me here is the caravan, and I really don't want it to take damage, but frankly, well, at the very least, the range aspects of it can hopefully hide behind those of Jiao Ming and still hold the line. They're definitely going to have to. Dune Dragons, Jiao Ming, this is looking like another big old fun fight, so we're definitely going to enjoy it. Go.
Battle is a stone of the path to enlightenment. Let your spirit soar.
Oh, that's a nice speech. Anyway, here we go. Grimgore leading his armies, but more importantly, all told, between Grimgore's army and this army, we are facing off against 12 regiments of renown, which is absolutely ridiculous. Basically, is that twice as many regiments of renown as our entire faction has? I think we only have like 6 of them, but yeah, damn, greenskins, what the heck? It's a lot to put into one army, and I guess all the other armies can go screw themselves apparently, because they don't got any. But anyway, we are going to position our fire rain rockets up on top of this hill where they cannot be reached, though of course they can be fired upon, and it does look like the enemy is using its bolt throwers to attempt to dish out some damage to them, while our fire rain rockets begin to fire back, starting with the enemy's Ruglad's armored orcs, which are probably not going to take an insane amount of damage due to the armor protecting them, but hopefully enough from all 4 fire rain rockets making them suffer. And gotta punish them after all. They are down to about 50% of their HP and are in fact the only enemy unit that we can reach from here with the fire rain rockets, as their range is quite short compared to the Grand Cannon. Anyway, the fire rain rockets cannot reach the goblin bolt throwers, the Snagla's death thrower in particular, but the Gehenna's golden hounds very much can, so we're going to make use of our mage to bring those down rather than our artillery. Ruglad's armored orcs have been seen off by our artillery fire, and our reinforcement from our caravan has arrived to help us out. We are holding the other side of the river here, so the enemy will have to cross to get to us. And hopefully this works out really well. Alrighty, it does look like the enemy has a lot of mobile units, in fact a lot of squigs all over the place, which may be of some concern here. First enemy unit of squig hoppers will charge through, or attempt to charge through, our Dune Dragons. Couldn't remember the name of the regiment of renown, even if there aren't as many as the orcs. But fortunately, the Dune Dragons will hold the enemy back. Grenades dropping down upon the enemy from below, and our great Alongma riders are going over the hill as well. Rockets flying among them, but fortunately we dip just below the sort of plateau and continue moving towards the enemy. The reinforcing armies have brought, what, 3 or 4 artillery pieces, Doom Divers, catapults, and in particular the Hammer of Gork, and we do gotta bring them down. Alrighty, and ooh, looks like over on the right flank, that's really annoying. Look at that. The armored squig hoppers here completely ignoring the Custodes, Celestial Dragon Gardener, just charging sort of right through them instead of being engaged, taking damage while doing so, mind you, but annoyingly, and just completely ignoring them. Well, that's the AI for you. It does like to do that sort of thing. Hopefully we can rout the unit. We got more squigs on the way, including a super squig, which is gonna explode, which... Oh! Huh. Wait, it explodes and that leaves it with some HP? That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. Wait, so are you telling me that these guys can explode and then still survive? Is that intentional? Did they always work like that? I guess we'll see next time I play Greenskins. Anyway, looks like the enemy is attempting to repeat the same thing on the right flank, with the squigs attempting to ignore the Doom Dragons and just charging through to try to get to our artillery up here, which does make sense, but it is quite irritating that they're trying it. Enemy Giant has arrived and Grimgore is fast approaching. And we got our Iron Guts working together with our Jade Warriors here, soon to be with Celestial Dragon Guard, I hope. But once again, we do want these Ogre units together with Jiao Ming. The enemy Giant is wreathed in flame as it is taking grenade after grenade to the face and everywhere else, though it's going to take a long time to bring it down this way, as the Giants in SFO have a lot more resistances than in vanilla. And you can't quite focus them down as easily, if I could ever select it. We got 50% missile resistance and then 10% physical as well. It will take grenades, and it will take corals, and everything else that we can throw at it. Another Gehenna's Golden Hounds comes down into the water there, just to try to hold back the tide of Crimson Killers, Black Orcs, and Biggins, while Zhao Ming, who is otherwise advancing together with our other flyers to kill off the enemy artillery, is now moving towards the Squigs and Grimgore, who is almost the size of an ogre here. And is a big boy, but I don't think he can survive being surrounded by the Dune Dragons and 3 Celestial Lions, and of course, Zhao Ming himself here as well. We are still holding ground. The giant is down to about 30% of his HP, though the frickin' Squigs have managed to make their way up the hill and towards our artillery pieces, who we have essentially had to abandon, as in the artillery themselves, and had the crew back off, unless they get killed. Out here, the Longma Riders are starting to move in and get ready to help the units still holding ground. But we're going to wait for the river trolls to actually engage our units before touching down and then surrounding and hopefully killing them with our Longma. And I do think, generally speaking, it is a good idea to leave a couple of Longma Riders in Zhao Ming's army, just because the firing rockets will often be not long range enough to win artillery duels. Anyway, the Longma Riders touch down, having destroyed the enemy artillery and going after those river troll hags. They do get the Wa, but probably a little bit too late, as the swamp things are probably going to rout rather soon. And while the Longma Riders are fragile, we should still be able to hold even more Squigs, still trying to make their way up to our frickin' artillery, but now the Iron Guts, together with or led by a Dragon Slayer, are holding them back, including the enemy Black Orc Big Boss. Grimgore has lost 95% of his HP to concentrated, well, not so much fire, but attacks from Zhao Ming and the 3 Celestial Dragons, or Celestial Dragons, I wish, the 3 Celestial Lions, and will now back off. And we'll have Zhao Ming chase him down, though without Grimgore, I'd wager the enemy army is not long for this battle. In fact, with Grimgore shattering, his Crimson Killers shattering, the enemy army will shatter, and the battle will be ours. Very, very nice. Did take quite a bit of effort, but we did manage to hold, and while Zhao Ming's army is damaged, I'm thinking that we were able to keep the reinforcing army, the caravan army, which we can't really afford to take damage, in decent shape, but let's find out for sure after chasing the enemy down. Ooh, we got an Armor of Destiny out of that. Very, very nice. And generally speaking, a very, very nice fight. I do think that perhaps the position for the firing rockets wasn't quite as good as I was intending it to be, although this one did manage to get 305 kills and 38k damage, which is solid, and 168 and 17k, but less than I think they would have gotten in a better position. We've also got a lot of help from the caravan, and we were able to preserve most of the HP on the units by using them mostly as reserves instead of mainline fighters, though frankly I think Grimgore jumped the gun a little bit. He shouldn't have attacked while the caravan was nearby, as without the caravan, Zhao Ming would have struggled a lot more. So yeah, Grimgore screwed himself over a little bit. Now we are going to heal because we'll want to probably auto-resolve what remains here, so let's venerate like so. And what are you doing? You're gonna attack us again? This reeks of desperation, my friend. This one I'm hopeful that we can auto-resolve, though I am a little bit wary of taking too much damage on the caravan. I'm just gonna hope that it isn't too bad. Don't screw us on this game. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alright, that's okay. That's okay. Nothing too bad. I'll take it. And that should actually allow us to occupy Black Fortress. I don't know why he did that again, but while I'm certainly not complaining, occupy. Lovely. And we're not intending to keep any of the Badlands territories, not to worry. We don't need to add to the admin, and just generally speaking, I'd rather take all the green territories that we can. Hopefully Imric can hold the Badlands for us. Well, okay, guys, calm down for 5 seconds. Decline. And hey, thanks, Kun Grundodrek. We will auto-resolve the... Oh, okay, it's just the garrison. I was like, are you really all gonna die? But it's fine. We will take the money because it doesn't matter because that was just a reinforcing little army. Though, of course, the AI is thus trespassing, which ain't great. We got Oscar Troll here willing to offer us 10k, which is nice for peace, but he's just going to be an annoyance. If we leave him here, he'll either resettle and then eventually redeclare war on us, much as I'd love to take the money. Ally mission successful, great, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle, etc. Sort of anti-heroes for Ji Song. You already have magical damage, so that's not super useful on you. You can hold on to the Armor of Fortune for now, though I do think you kind of earned it. Armor of Silver Steel, not for the Dragon-Blooded Shogun. Faction destroyed Nagaroth. Oh, that's not great. Okay, well, we were looking to trade them, and armor +5 for all characters faction-wide, and armor piercing weapon damage +50 for Zhao Ming. It's not a bad trade. The Dragon-Blooded Shogun can actually have fairly low armor, so getting a couple of Grimgore defeats is probably a good thing to do. Tretch also has the army-wide speed increase, which would also be good for Zhao Ming, so certainly something we'll probably want to look into. Anyway, let's make sure that this little army here dies. So Yuan Shanfu in regular stance now. Did we just raid our own territory by virtue of her being there? Over the course of the end turn, and hey, a Warrior Bane. I was looking to get one of these and put it somewhere, Slanashi Giggle, but I don't remember where, so we're gonna have to check that out. A few more items as well, which is nice. Settlement Besieged, Temple of Shere Khan, that was the ones that died, right? I think it was. Army receives Plague, well, it was bound to get a plague eventually, which is annoying, but, well, it's not like we can do too much about it. Hopefully by the time we get back to our own territory, the plague will be gone. This army still doesn't have a plague, although I probably shouldn't have said anything and jinxed it like I just did, but it is what it is. Keep going. Let's see if these guys have recovered a sufficient amount of troops to actually... Ooh, they will actually be able to defend this, most likely. And Nine Graves is... I was about to say their capital, but frankly, it's not super well populated anyway. Caravan completed. Nice little bit of extra cash. Celestial Cuisine. Gold too? Okay, that's kind of concerning. What does it say? An ogre man-eater long in Cathay's employ finally journeys back to his homeland where he shares the spoils of his distant exploits. Particularly popular is a dish named Five Spiced Monkey Brains, though in truth it is minced and marinated pork. His tribe would do almost anything for another taste. Alright, we are... there's a little Chaos Rebellion, and hey, Greasy is moving north. Good, although with a terrible, terrible army. I see why you lost all your territory, dude. Ningwei, your army may be limited, but continue moving northward. You should say, oh. Yeah, you're not taking Yeti Peak. No way. Damn, I didn't realize it was a tier 5 settlement here. I thought it would be limited to tier 3. Which is it worth if we sack it? We're not looking to keep it. Oh, barely anything. Okay, well, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Anyway, Miao Ying, I would like you to start off by grabbing this shipwreck here. Real quick, who knows, might find something good. And sell to the wreck, and auto resolve. It's gonna hurt most likely, yep, but we can use the turn to heal. Let's take the money, and then we'll just go back to the port and heal for the turn. See if we pick up anything useful. And see income for post-battle loot, aged sage, and just money. Well, not that money isn't useful, mind you. Well, we still actually heal fairly decently at sea. I was considering moving down here, though I'm also kind of interested in what exactly is going on at the Isles of the Monkey King, so there is that potential as well. You know what, let's start moving this way. Lizard Sea, eh? We can always go back, it's not like we're in a hurry, and I'm curious to grab the Isles of the Monkey King. They might not actually be useful for us, depending on if they count as ocean territory or not. Oh, you know what, it might actually be faster to send the Heaven's Interpreter down there. Although, he does have to steal tech from somebody now, there's nobody nearby. We kind of put him out of position, didn't we? I guess we could march him all the way to the Greenskins out here, and what are you? Nah, Lizardman I'd actually like to be friends with. Probably now, because the, because Mazdamundi is being a jerk, although he did wake up and choose violence, so it's kind of, you know, on brand for him. Anyway, you go down this way and cut across. Maybe you'll be able to reach the Isles of the Monkey King faster and show us what's going on over there. Maybe without necessitating Miao Ying go over there, she might want to travel this way, as we are looking to move towards the desert. Or... The other opportunity would be to just go like this anyway, see what's going on down here, and then move to the Lost Isles. Might be fun. Because we were going to send armies down here anyway. Certainly something to think about. Anyway, oh, also, engagement threshold, something, something, good, long episodes, yada yada. Anyway, Tanji Chen, how are you guys doing? We got, okay, what, 4 turns left? Less than 4 turns. We do have to be careful. I did want to... Okay, no, you're not going to Iron Storm. You're going to go into raiding as you move, just to get the bonus XP and then move towards the Volary. We will abandon the Fortress of Eyes as we have no use for it, and we will move towards the Volary with you afterwards. You, Scholar, will move to Iron Storm real quick. Then we will have you attack Iron Storm and raise it. And then Logistics can reinforce, but also afterwards return to our own territory. Like so. And like so. And Terrifying Mask of E, tremendously terrifying, raise Iron Storm. Alright, don't bother keeping that Administrator, we'll hopefully turn it into something we can actually use. And then you can, I mean, I guess you can channel, while you go into raiding stance, just so that you don't suffer attrition, get a little bit of bonus XP, and then proceed down to Dragon Gate fast as you can. Ji-Song. Huh, 5,000 sack value, eh? Yeah, but I fear we can't stay here. So we'll have to raise it most likely. Decent bit of damage. I guess you technically count as a melee unit, so does the drum, which is a little bit concerning. Hopefully once we have 4 units of Null and Iron sides, the auto-resolve will not do that anymore. Anyway, we only get half as much money for raising it, but, well, it's still money. Actually, we could get more by looting and occupying it and then abandoning it. Eh, why not? Loot and occupy, and then delete this for a little bit of bonus cash, and we'll abandon this next turn and move southward. That's not a lot of healing, but, well, it's something. You have to keep moving out here. Alright, we are starting to kind of put ourselves in a dangerous position with regards to the Great Bastion attacks, so we'll just have to pay attention to that. Also, before I forget, I wanted to build a couple more of these jet lions. Actually, probably several more jet lines, but okay, we'll get to that. Anyway, you two, heroes. One of you is a Defender Astromancer, and you are going to join the other army, and there should be... Shouldn't there be another hero here somewhere? I hate how they disappear under the building. I don't know why they did that. Maybe there isn't a hero here. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore it then. Yeah, you're going to join Jiao Ming's army, although while we're here I should probably check on if there are any more Astromancers. Hey, another defender! We are kind of out of capacity for them, but we'll get more, but we should get these defenders on field as much as possible. And you can have the Great Moonbird for now. Alright. Huh. Actually, we could keep you on a war compass and then just keep this to 2 compasses. Although that won't save us any turns, admittedly, either. I'll think about it. And Jiao Ming should still be the compass guy, because, you know, he's the Astromancer guy. Well, the Astromancer and compass guy. Anyway, oh, right, I moved away and then I promptly forgot. There's so many things to do that how to resolve this. Hopefully the lions won't die. No, they're okay. We will take the... Yeah, take a little bit of cash. Alright, I assume we won't be able to reach the Sentinels, or... Okay, no, don't bother with this. Won't be able to reach the Sentinels. Another glittering scales. Won't be able to reach the Sentinels in 1 turn. Huh, actually we are. Can't reach Darkhold, but I guess we could take the Sentinels first. And loop back around, which admittedly I don't like either. But if we go here and then use Yuan Shanfu to take it, then I guess she might be in danger from the rats, potentially anyway. Maybe not a horrible plan, though. How are you and Goldtooth about each other now? I still don't like each other that much. Just gotta make sure that you both fight the same enemies. Yeah, we can do it. I'm sure we can. Anyway, okay, fine. We will move Yuan Shanfu in and camp stance right here. And I'm going to assume that we can hit Darkhold next turn. Jiao Ming, you can also heal up, I guess, for the turn. We don't heal much here, but it's better than nothing. And then, collect the income. We're going to trade Black Fortress anyway, and to make sure that we can trade it for more money, let's build a military structure there as well. Anyway, back to starting from the top, which I should have done from the very start. Tanji Chen, you're fine. You're going to get your own army, but you're not a priority right now. We have other things. Jusia, you are not the one I was thinking of, although you should be following... Yeah, and go out to sea. And what we also will want to try to do is trade Trade a Rajapuram to these guys for Suryapuri. Let's see. Rajapuram, Suryapuri, minus 30? Really? Why in the heck? Huh. Oh man, this would complete our province. Granted, this doesn't help him in any way, but that's why we want to trade it. It's a tier 2, it's a tier 2, it's a military structure. Well, then we could replace the port with another military structure. I guess we have no choice but to wait until it's next tier. Which is gonna take a while. But at least it'll complete the province down here. As I don't want to deal with all of this yellow territory. Granted, we could take it, but it's minus 6 control plus in every territory, and it still feels like too much of a hassle to be getting along with. Though I will keep this map in mind for other campaigns that like settling jungles. I mean, there's a lot of jungle down here. Certainly something Lizardman and I think Empire can enjoy. No, yeah, and playing Golden Order would be good there. But that's a little bit too Cathay adjacent right now. I'll think about it. Anyway, let's keep going. Logistics, okay, yeah, you're the right logistics. You can go into raiding and then get XP as you move northward to trade your units and hopefully, you know, not get caught by everybody else. Jiaming, you've moved. And Shao, you've moved. You are supposed to join Jiaming, and I'm a little bit concerned that there might be an army out here, but I don't see one. Alright, you better not get yourself killed, because those man-eaters cost us a lot of cash. I should have gone for sentinels after all, and I'm regretting it. But it is what it is. Alright, Yuanbo. How are those, black... The heck is this? The heck is this game? Okay, Yanbo, you're going to go into March stance, or full speed stance, then you're going to go here. We'll have you sail out, and we'll sink these Black Arcs. I don't know what I really don't know what the AI thinks it's doing here, but whatever. Not the biggest of concerns, I will admit. Wait, what? Why would this take all of our... Okay, now. For a second it was looking like it would take all of our movement range, but it's not looking like that anymore. Alright, go this, or go here. Auto-resolve this silliness. The AI really needs to, you know, be taught how to use Black Arcs properly, because this is just bizarre. Alright, take the tiny amount of healing, I guess. And another Pigeon Plucker Pendant, good. We want 2 Featherfoot Turks and 2 Pigeon Plucker Pendants for our range, or our aerial army.
Stands ready.
To protect the sky junks and all that. Anyway, go after... Oh, you can actually still run? Oh, don't tell me this one's getting away. Come on, man. Yeah, it's getting away. Well, that's a shame. Yanbo, you can kind of stay near it, and then you, I guess, can go and stay also near it. Watch it land and attack Monument to the Moon. Not that it'll be a big deal. Also, I don't know if you're in order, but you're gonna go here anyway. And then you'll loot the carcass, and then you'll auto-resolve it, and... not bad. We still took a little bit of damage, but not bad. Actually, I should have paid attention to... Okay, let me just see here. You get your Sky Lantern, good for you, but that's not what I'm concerned with. What I'm concerned with is what took the most damage. Huh. Looks like it's still the Jade Warriors. Go figure. Alright, fine. Go briefly into the Shrine of Sotek, as in you can still land, and then... Ports seem really broken, but anyway, still land, heal for a turn, and then move to Remnants of Battle afterwards. Like so. Alright, good enough, and you've reached rank 10. Does that give us anything right now? We were looking to get Harmonia's Doctrine eventually, but for now, this isn't super useful to you. Although I guess Whistling Rounds might be fairly helpful. And sorry if there's any noise, there's construction outside and I can't do too much about it. Let's see. You know, go for Inspiring Presence. Maybe we should, since these guys took the most damage, maybe we should actually prioritize unyielding. +6/+6 might make them be a little bit more survivey. It's a word, I swear. Alrighty, let's get back to the Order here. We are the Order Tide, after all. You. Go here, in and camp. Actually, I want you to check things as well. Go into allied recruitment. Goldtooth is not yet ready for another lead belcher. I would have thought that they would have gotten a lot cheaper since we're sharing a border with an enemy, but whatever. Golden Order. Another Null Ironside will be good. Okay, we'll build that right now. And Visalan, no, not yet. Or at least nothing good yet. Kurun, nothing good. Ice Court, yeah, 16 and 8. Okay. Now let's double check this. Ally missions. Carl Alderbrandt. Huh? Where are you? Oh, did these guys... Wait, did these guys resettle this? Okay, I'll accept this. Huh. I am kind of concerned by the fact that there seems to be an army belonging to... Is that the destroyed faction? I wonder what it... We're gonna go here. You know what? Delete this. I should have built a defensive structure here instead, even if these guys are all ruins, and... Might even want to send this guy back here, just in case. Meet up later. I really wouldn't want to start that faction sort of living again, as that would be annoying. Anyway, you are going to get peasants. 0 cost to recruit and relatively cheap upkeep. I wish we could use the global recruitment to deal with them, but, well, start on them. At least they're free. And they're going to be highly leveled. You're also going to need a drum, probably 2 drums, as we'll want the peasants to get both the defenses and armor in addition to the immunity to psychology. So yeah, double drums, lots of cannons, since you're the cannon man. Yeah, reload time, and then lead belchers. I think it'll be a pretty neat army. And we'll probably need to get you an alchemist as well. It'll help keep the peasants a little bit stronger as well. Actually, what kind of alchemist would we like? The characters probably wouldn't help. A gate defender might help as well. Actually, you probably will want a gate defender as well. Let me just check here what these guys do again. As in, who has a gate defender? Gate master, rather, you. So they do have the Bastion's defenders, which is nice. Unbreakable, cannot die, immune to flanking, could help with the peasants. They do have the retinue physician, which is just really needed on everybody. The Jade Standard doesn't really help. Bulwark of the Gate, however, is bonus armor and melee defense. The missile block chance probably doesn't help the peasants, but it's, yeah, you should probably have at least 1. If we use 2, we could have additional armor as well. Keep the peasants a little bit more tanky. Yeah, maybe. We got any good gate masters here? Distant Force. That'd be nice. And, Golden Robed might also be nice in terms of helping the peasants, although admittedly you do have to be fairly near to them, which I kind of don't like, admittedly. Recovery might be better. Spirit Blessing. Can we build Gate Masters in Kunlun? We can, at rank 8. No, we can only build Gate Masters. Or not Gate Masters, Celestial Defenders, which is not what we want. At least not here. Alright, build the Alchemist, because it's at a much higher level, with... Glittering Robe. Glittering Robe would be good on the peasants as well, missile and physical resistance. Certainly something we can... Oh, but the cooldown reduction is only on the non-upgraded version, meaning that's not as useful. You know what, fine, let's do another Spirit Blessing one. Let the characters recover. If we're gonna use a couple of Gate Masters in that particular army, then, you know, they'll find some use. I assume we can't get any Gate Masters anywhere near here. What about in... No. Alright, so they're gonna have to travel a fairly long way, aren't they? Yeah, this won't provide us... Okay, we'll actually probably want to build something somewhere... Oh, wait. Here we go. You know what? Keep this here. Keep the Jade Barracks here. This is actually going to serve... Oh, they start at rank 1 here? Well, to be fair, rank 1 and rank 4 aren't that big of a difference anyway. Yeah, fine. Distant Force.
Gate Master.
We'll do 1. Alrighty, and I believe it's only the heroes that need to move now. So Tech Thieves, etc., etc. Gotta find a place to be, because we're running out. I guess we're gonna have to send them this way, which is fine. Alright, start moving. Disharmony Dealer. Treetop Village, easy enough. And I think there was 1 more left. Okay, no, actually several more left. Fine. Heavenly Scribe, Crookback Mountain, and then you, Scryer of Fates. Both of you doing good work. Continuing to do good work. Man, Cathay basically has 100% hero action success chance on all heroes due to the various things that they can get, which is kind of interesting, but it's kind of insane compared to some others. Anyway, 388, eh? Research rate, we gotta bump that up. We should also probably at some point spend the 10,000 gold to get the +10 relations with all factions. We still don't yet have enough Celestial Dragon Guard to make this really worth it. Melee attack when under siege would be worth it when we get attacked, but the relations with all factions that I'm kind of interested in. Magic item drop chance is also nice. Maximum cargo capacity. Oh, right. The caravans finished last turn. That reminded me. Let's get some caravans moving. You. Max out what you got. And also wait before you do. Oh, I was hoping for another point in smuggler space. Let's go for cargo capacity then. Blue line maxed out as usual, and then, okay, max it out again. Now, we will send you again to Karazakar. Aha, actually we'll get more from Barrack Var now. At least from you. Alright, fine, go to Barrack Var. There should be nobody on the way, really. No diplomatic relations. Yeah, we're not at war with anybody. Why is the threat high here? No ogre camps, no diplomatic relations issues. Just send it to Barrack Var. I do wish that it was more cash, but it's actually surprisingly little cash, considering you're a level 12 with maxed out stuff. I wonder if you have some kind of debuff on you right now. Because, wait, we're paying 1,500 to only get 4,000 for 5 turns? Something happened, it feels. Oh well. And do it anyway. And we should have another caravan available. It's a decent level. This guy's okay with 13 units, but still a little bit damaged, but maybe not so damaged that we can't send him out. And I guess we're gonna have to send you to Karazakar. Alright, you've no levels, so let's max you out, and I guess we could send you to Myrmidons. It's also 5 turns, and then leave you again to go after Karazakar. He was able to get like 10k there last time. And I don't want to send them too far now, especially the ones that are damaged. I'm gonna hope that we can get an event to get more units in here. There you go. Can't be relying on the caravans to give us all of our cash anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, that was it for the heroes. That was it for the caravans. That is... Oh, Dragon's Wrath is almost gone. Ooh, we only have one last turn of City of Smoke, meaning... Yeah, we really need to build the buildings. I wonder if there's any important ones. Okay, let me just do a quick check here. So you're fine. How are you doing? Okay, not to tier 5 yet. You have your landmark. Checking landmarks right now. And you, Shenyang. Ah, that's what we wanted. This is what we wanted. The Great Embassy, diplomatic relations with all factions, money, allegiance, and income from trade tariffs. Beautiful. And I think those were the main ones that we wanted. Alright, let's also do Diplo while we're here. Lots of factions want to trade now. Lorelorn, Leofric's Fellowship, Arguelon. Or we save it because we might need it to actually trade these settlements. But it'll probably take like 6 turns, and we do want several turns worth of money. And these guys are actually willing to offer us a fair bit of trade. Yeah, fine, we'll just trade with them now anyway. And let's hope that, well, they're friendly with Gelt, so we wouldn't be attacking these guys anyway, so I think it's fine. Might even do a defensive alliance with them once they get a little bit friendlier, just because we want them to, we might potentially want some of the Dwarven units. Great Orthodoxy wants to be friends, but that I think we can ignore for now. They're too weak. We can do a military alliance with various factions here. Golden Order is the main one I'm considering, but not yet. Yeah, we'll ignore this for now. Mostly because we don't have armies down where the, down in the Isles of Nippon yet. I mean, they're friendly with the Yumis around, so I guess we could trade with them. It's probably not going to be worth too much trade, but better than nothing. And there's also potential for getting Wood Elf units. Once again, I did want some Lizardmen units, but frickin' Mazdamundi ruined everything. Alright, I believe that's good. Alright, real quick buildings, some hopefully money-making buildings. As usual, the priority. This is fine for now. And, ooh, Fuchsia. Oh, we do want to upgrade Fuchsia because we have the Great Dragon Fleet Port. I'm glad I looked here. Province capital, it's going to take 10,000 gold. Everything is so horrifically expensive. Shillong, let's upgrade the port and the market and the tea parlor. I guess we can upgrade the tea parlor here as well. And then nothing else. Alright, Ivory Road, Great Hall of Greasy. Administrative Center, yes, let's upgrade Grimtop to the next tier. Definitely get the Admin Center. We can... I guess we have 6, so we can ignore the rest of that. What else makes us money? Alright, you... Oh. No, this wasn't the place where we were going to build the admin. It was here. The defensive structures was here. Alright, so admin center, and then Riverport, and then another admin center here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that'll be fine. Next up, we got, okay, no money here. Yes, money here. Dyes, pottery, markets, more markets, ports. And that's good. Surprisingly, Cathay has no adjacency bonuses. A lot of factions do have adjacency bonuses on their buildings, and I would have thought that Cathay would be one of them, you know, because, with all that harmony stuff, it feels like they might be a faction that would like sort of, adjacency bonuses for a faction, for territories working together. In fact, you know what might actually be kind of neat, just as a thought? If you know how we went mostly for yin in most of our territories, in the same way that harmony likes on the battlefield, where units like to be beside each other, yin and yang, it would be cool if provinces would get benefits from being beside each other as well. Like if we had a yin province beside a yang province, and that could, I don't know, maybe that could enable like half a harmony effect on both of them rather than within the province. On top of what they have in terms of yin, this would give you an incentive to actually bother with the yang effect rather than go 100% in on yin, which is what we've been doing so far. Just a thought, devs, if you're listening, please. Anyway, I believe that's all we got right now, so skip the compass as we do. Anywhere where we could get attacked. Ooh, I also gotta remember that we need to max out this army, and you're still building for a while. Actually, Taji Chen, while you're here, you've got 2 turns, I think. There's no other army to do this, so let's go to the Golden Order and let's get the 3rd Null Ironside to transfer to Ji Song's army, which is really going to have to try to beat the odds and actually get here. We're going to suffer a lot of attrition and we'll probably be heavily damaged by the time these guys arrive, which is kind of making me rethink leaving here with Enshao, but I'm just going to hope we'll be fine. End turn. Raiding in the Fortress of Eyes. Okay. That's the place where... Did I press the abandon button on you? I guess we're about to find out.
The forces of Nan Gau cannot...
Ungram, hey there, bud. I'd love to do the military alliance with you. My main issue is that you and the elves don't like each other, and right now, you're not worth as much as Imric is. Plus, there's the whole, dragon thing that we got going on. Alright, Alcor, that was always going to happen. Damn. And that's why okay, it looks like one of these armies is going to have to head back now rather than later. It is what it is. Don't bother calling your allies to help. Or, I mean, it's a minor faction. We could probably, fine, call your allies to help. We could probably do some missions. Yeah. And that's exactly why we need to wipe these guys out. Despite the fact that they're completely aware of the fact that we're strength rank 1 and their strength rank like 150, they're willing to essentially destroy themselves just to slightly annoy us. Which I respect, I admit, but it is still annoying from a gameplay perspective. Anyway, right expires City of Smoke. Shame that, but there isn't too much we can do about it until we can get Dragon's Wrath back up and running. And this guy's already here, meaning we won't be able to build this. And he'll be able to reach this place. Ugh, okay.
General.
You. Back to Doomcrag. I don't think you could defend yourself, but you might be able to reach this place. This place is going to fall. And in fact, because it's going to fall, we're going to cancel this. Ugh. I hate to lose the tusks, but it is what it is as well. You're going to have to book it on over there. Assuming that these guys won't immediately peace out. Minus 78. Okay. Fine then. Fair enough. Let's move you back. We'll have somebody else deal with all this stuff. This is still an issue, but I guess we can heal for one more turn. So stay here. In fact, I'm curious whether we heal here more or there more. 28 and 2 versus That's still 28 and 2. You'll have enough HP to go after the 9 graves next turn. Ji-Song, I was going to have you go after the Foundry of Bones, but I think we have to leave it until... That's interesting. Wait. Administrator Cheng, 6,000 to colonize. What about you? 3,000 to colonize. Not worth it. I was thinking we could avoid the attrition by doing this, but it's kind of meh. You are going to return to Dragon Gate, and you should be able to follow along to return soon to Dragon Gate. Like so. Alright, and then we can abandon Bloodwind Keep. Abandon Settlement Scholar. You know what? Well, yeah, you should still go this way. Even though there is stuff to keep an eye on up there, we should still go this way. Anyway, folks, I think with that, there's a little bit of admin to do, like moving heroes around. I think that's certainly something better done between the episodes and not wasting on-screen time. So, I'm going to call it here. Next time, we will wipe out as much of Grimgore's stuff as we possibly can. What if we could just attack this and take this with this tiny little army? But anyway, wipe out as much of Grimgore stuff down here as we can. Prepare for fighting him here. Yes, I may have jumped the gun a little bit with this, and I'm a little bit worried that they come down to the desert, but I suppose we have enough armies over on the wall to protect ourselves from that as needed. Probably going to fight some Nurglites as well, as we've no choice in the matter. Yuanbo will continue waiting for his army, but when he has it, we're going to have to attack Mazda Mundi. I mean, we don't necessarily have to. We could probably get the friendliness going again. Frankly, if we could take Port Reaver, we could just occupy it and then trade it to him for a lot of cash and probably a military alliance. I mean, I'm kind of salty about the fact that he attacked us, but I'll think about it. Anyway, still plenty of stuff to do and enjoy. We got 3 new armies sort of on the way being recruited, and well, our current army is still being retrofitted all over the place and working to get their upgrades, like the Dragon or Jade Warriors to a Celestial Dragon Guard. Anyway, more Miao Ying to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to the threshold for the long episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.